Well, what's going on, guys? Once again, it is I, the chairman, bringing you another review of physical media. And today, I want to go over a few purchases that I've made recently since the last video, that have arrived since the last video. And the first thing was that I went back and got the Close Encounters 40th anniversary 4K, which was put out in 2017. And kind of the reason why I wanted to get this was because my son and I were watching the 30th anniversary Blu-ray, which was put out in 2007. And as I was watching it, I was realizing, wow, this is not looking great. There's a lot of places in the film where it just doesn't look very good, especially in the desert scenes in Mongolia, where they discover the Cotopaxi, and the sky is all washed out. And then there are scenes where the spaceships are flying around, and you can tell there's very, it's like looking pretty bad in terms of like the pixelation, and I don't know exactly what the technical term is, but it just didn't look very good. So then I knew about this 4K, and so I said, okay, let me go and get it. It was like 18 bucks on Amazon, and like I put it in, and it's obviously a much vaster improvement. It's a vast improvement over what you get on the 4K, both in terms of the improved clarity and resolution from the 4K, but as well as the HDR, because this is a film that really benefits from the improved dynamic range, because there's a lot of dark scenes, there's a lot of super bright light scenes with the spaceship, especially at the end. I mean, it's a light show basically, and any film that's a light show, you're going to need HDR to really bring that that contrast of the light out, because like when the hatch on the spaceship opens at the end, and you have like probably the brightest scene that you're going to see in film that is not obviously from the sun. I mean, they must have burned out thousands of bulbs on this film. But yeah, it looks amazing with that with HDR. And there are also scenes where the color really, the increased color gamut really benefits the film. Like there's a scene where Barry is playing the tones on his xylophone, and each color of the xylophone just comes out really, really vibrantly. And I'm not going to use a pop word, because a lot of people use the word pop when it comes to how colors appear in HDR, but it's just more vibrant. I mean, it stands out. It's just it feels much more authentic and real, like it's really in front of you. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend this film if you're a Close Encounters fan, if you're a Steven Spielberg fan, to get it, even if you have the Blu-ray, because I don't think there was any other Blu-ray that came out after the 30th anniversary. So you're getting 10 years benefit in terms of technology improvement. And this is one of the better examples of a vast improvement over the Blu-ray from the 4K. I'm sorry, over from the Blu-ray going to the 4K. Now, also in terms of having an improvement from the Blu-ray to the 4K, we all know we've been anticipating The Thing coming out on 4K finally. It's like the last of the great John Carpenter films to not to have come out on 4K. And so this is the Best Buy Steelbook. And so we have the classic guy in the snowsuit with the shiny head, and this one is the split face, and inside is you get a picture of MacReady and the flamethrower. Yeah, and also this I can directly contrast this film with the Blu-ray, because my son was bugging me about watching The Thing, because I told him yeah, it's coming out 4K. So we watched the Universal Blu-ray, the old Universal Blu-ray, and yeah, I could definitely tell after watching the 4K. I put it in, watched a few minutes of it. It is also a vast improvement, especially in the scenes outdoors with the snow in the mountains. You definitely get an improved contrast, because the thing with the snow is, I mean, it'll white out pretty easily in a less than ideal environment, and so the 4K really gives you that contrast in the different light levels as like the sun hits the snow, and you'll definitely see that when you watch the 4K. And then even in the darker scenes inside the station, especially when they're shooting the remains of the thing, and like the lights bouncing off of it because it's all glistening with like oil or whatever the heck they put on it. It's gleaming all over the place. So the 4K is definitely going to give you a much improved look at that. I could also tell that the color timing's been changed. There's a couple scenes where it definitely looks a lot darker. Well, I don't know. I can't quantify exactly how much darker, but it does seem darker than the Blu-ray. But it just seems like you get way more visual detail, a lot more clarity. Like for example, there's this one scene where Blair, it's after the dog kennel attack, and Blair is talking to Clark, and I just noticed like Blair's face looks way darker than what was in the Blu-ray, where Blair's asking Clark how long he had spent with the husky that had escaped the Norwegian camp, and I noticed his face looked way darker, but it still was like super clear. Like you could see everything on Blair's face. It was just like they had cranked the brightness down. So I had to put on the Blu-ray just to compare it, but I'm pretty sure it seemed way darker. And the other thing is that there has been two Blu-rays that have come out since the Universal Blu-ray, one from Shout Factory and one from Arrow, and I think they're based off of the same scan that was done. And I think the scan was actually a 4K scan that was then downgraded to 2K Blu-ray, and people have posted screenshots, and the 4K looks far more similar to the Shout Arrow Blu-ray than it does to the Universal. So if you have the if you have the Shout or the Arrow Blu-ray and are thinking of upgrading, I'd probably still do it, but I think you're going to get less of an improvement than if you had the Universal, because those Shout and Arrow Blu-rays were more recent. I think they were done even like maybe less than 3 years ago. So I think you're going to see less of an improvement, but it's a 4K, so if you're a big John Carpenter fan, big Thing fan, horror films, I definitely recommend getting that too. And then also what I got was as part of pre-ordering Black Widow in 4K, I could get one other disc half price. And so this is Speed, that has come out on 4K this year, and so this was like I think like $12 or something. So it was a pretty good deal. It's just a basic Blu-ray. It's just got it's just a basic 4K. It has a Blu-ray and 4K disc, nothing special. And I put this in. I kind of fast forwarded through it because I know the story. I've watched it many times before, and I don't. I think I only. I only have the old DVD from Fox. So clearly 4K is going to be a vast improvement, and it looked fine. It looked. It didn't like amaze me in terms of how it looked, but obviously it didn't disappoint. It's a film that's very workmanlike. That's what I like to say. It's very competently done, from the writing, the acting, direction, the stunt choreography. Everything about the film is very competent, but it's not trying to reach any kind of heights directorially or cinematographically. It knows what it is, and it does the job very well. So just like you're not going to get anything super amazing in terms of innovations with regard to like action movies, because the film is derivative, but that's kind of not that's not a knock on the film, because it's about the best derivation of, I guess, the Die Hard formula in action films that we had gotten in about the 10 years after Die Hard. So Speed is definitely a film that knows exactly what it's doing. It does that job very well, and it just leaves you with a very entertaining, exciting action film. But it's not trying to make you think long and hard about what's going on in the film. It's not leaving you with long, lingering questions. It is just doing its job very well. So in that sense, in the same way, the 4K does its job. Looks great, doesn't amaze, doesn't have, it's not a film I would say put on to show how great 4K is, how great HDR is, but you can put it on and people will still say, oh yeah, it looks good. Um, and so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say about Speed. We all know it, we all love it. Still holds up. I mean, obviously there's a few places where it gets a little cheesy in terms of how's the bus able to jump that 50-foot gap, and there's a few times where you can see the lighting is weird. It looks like afternoon lighting because obviously it's supposed to take place between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. in the morning, and you know what morning light looks like. And there's a few times which the sun's so low that yeah, it looks like they shot in the afternoon, but I'm pretty sure they had to because they just couldn't shoot only in the morning, especially in LA. So I give the film a pass on that, but otherwise. I don't know. I got this from Disney Movie Club. Sorry if I didn't mention that. Disney Movie Club. And I'm pretty sure you can get it for cheap on from other sources like Amazon. So yeah, if you're still on the fence about getting Speed, I definitely recommend that. I definitely would recommend that also. Definitely won't be disappointed. It's a classic of 90s era action film. So yeah, definitely get it in your collection. So in terms of things I have coming up, I still have Black Widow to come in. Waiting on Zavvi to deliver 6 4Ks. I got in on their 3 for $40 4K sale, which is a really good sale. I think I got Red Sparrow. I got Mad Max Fury Road. I got Passengers. I got Venom. Blade Runner 2049. Let me see, I'm trying to remember what else. I think I'm missing one. But those are all films that I kind of wanted to get, had just been waiting for like a price drop or a good opportunity. So maybe I would have got those later on Black Friday, but I think it's really hard to beat 3 for $40. I mean, you're talking like tax, shipping, $15, $16 a disc. That's kind of hard to beat. So yeah, I jumped in on that, and I'm waiting for those to come in, and I'll let you know how they work. So until then, have a good one. Keep watching 4Ks, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.